Hey guys, Toria Scott, Plumtree Realty. I'm actually tearing down panel walls, and when I tore down all of the panel, under the panel were 3 or 4 layers of wallpaper. Now most people think that you steam the wallpaper, you take it off, you do all that cool stuff. If you have the time, when it comes to your investment real estate woes, the easiest thing to do would be to mud over it. Now, it will take 2 to 3 coats of mud to completely cover the wallpaper, get out all the bubbles, sand it all down, and now you can prime it and paint it. But the easiest way to do it is to mud it first. And you don't necessarily need to buy a 5-gallon or a couple 5-gallons. If you're in a crunch and you're trying to save time, what you do is you actually buy the box. And as you can see, the box of mud here is your Pro-Lite. It's just a box of Pro-Lite joint compound from Home Depot. It's $11 a box, and it's the same exact size as a 5-gallon bucket of lightweight, dust-free mud. Well, not dust-free, dust control. Anybody who's ever done any kind of mudding knows that nothing is dust-free. The easiest way to do it, first get it on the wall. Most people use a trowel when you're doing these kinds of projects. You just want to first move it around and get it pliable. The biggest part to mud is making sure it's pliable and workable so that you can move it in the direction you need it to go. And make sure you're doing it in smooth transition strokes so that when you go back and sand, you're not spending a lot of time sanding because you've over mudded a particular wall, surface area, or whatever. You just want to make sure your strokes are even and that you're spreading it out completely. And then you can go back and look for air pockets and things like that. Sit down. Everywhere I go, I take my dog, so I got my dog with me. He's chills on all the projects with me, but you get that even flow. And like there's a spot over here, because I took down panel boards, you'll see the black marks. Well, that's old school glue, and when your mud is pliable, it's so much easier to cover a transition area. And you can go back later on and take care of the corners. Because again, this is not a one-step process. You're going to do this quite a few times. A lot of investors, whether they're in the area or not, some of their biggest concerns are cosmetic things that can be fixed pretty easily. They just don't have the knowledge, the time, or the skill set to do so. So literally making a mountain out of a molehill. I crank the heat up till about 75 degrees. So it'll dry pretty fast. By 4 or 5 o'clock today, this space should be dried already. And what I'll do is I'll come back, sand what's over mudded, and then I'll give it one last coat. And when that coat dries, I'll hit my corners. This saves you time. This saves you money, especially if you have panel board in your house and you're afraid of what's behind it. I say go ahead, take a look. See if you can take it down, maybe like a corner, something at the bottom that's not easily seen or it's behind something, and give it a shot because it's super easy. And again, the most that it takes is time. And I see that some of the spots of glue here are thicker than others. And so what you'll have to do is float the wall out. But floating the wall is not difficult at all. You're going to make sure you get you a nice laser measurer so that you're able to see how thick one portion of the wall is over another. So when you're looking at the wall is not uneven and unlevel. It's the biggest part of drywall. Next, I'll do the ceilings. After I do the ceilings, all the walls, then we'll go to the floors. Investment real estate is not as hard as people make it seem. The biggest amount of the issue is the timing. And if you can't find a contractor that you trust, then definitely ask your realtor if they have any contractors that they work with on a regular basis. Shoot me a text, give me a call, hit me up. I'm available at email. My email is torre.escott@gmail.com, torre.escott@gmail.com. My phone number is 216-200-6930, and I'll be doing this for the next couple of hours, so get at me. Thanks, guys.